So you might have felt some sort of anxiety and sort of like you feel like you don't know what you are doing, or you feel like everything is mixed up and that you don't know where to start. Well, probably even thought maybe to this day everything you experienced was just something to doubt about, or you might have felt like you were getting paranoid. Well, don't. Really don't, because you are neither paranoid, neither are you to doubt anything that you have known to this day. So welcome back if you're coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. And yes, that is the situation, or rather the way the energy is being manipulated. It's a projection. There are so many projections right now. And so many projections, so many spells, so many magic, whatever, being sent all the way. People are so... They put a lot of effort into doing all these projections and spells. And you might be feeling also like there is something to hasten for, like something missing, but you can't put it out right as what it could be, and it slowly starts to make you start feeling irritated with every small thing. Well, that is probably that way because someone somewhere is still cooking and brewing things, as well as keeping chanting and puffing probably too, to whatever they have collected and gathered to bring their intention to fruition. And probably they're doing it with on an altar or something like that, and your photo is out there, and they're trying to send all these things towards you. And that, my dear, is to try and ruin you, probably even doing death magic. For some people, this might seem unbelievable or some exaggerated thought, because that is just how it is meant to seem like when you phrase it out, so that no one would believe or understand what was being done in the shadows. And the energies in this time, they feel is what would help them get the kind of results that they want. We are in a retrograde that is... They are thinking that it might help them out because the energies are really sort of high. There was a need to have intense prayer from here, from my side, so that the fog could be cleared, to have a peek at what was going on. I just had to pry in. So hovering around I rebuke all of them in the name of the Most High, who created them to return to sender. Hovering around are monitoring things. And that is what is causing anxiety and irritation, because with their presence, depending on what you are doing at that moment, whether it is not anything that reminds you of God, then they tend to try and settle there to start their works of conflict, confusion, and chaos, whispering. And if you're not mindful and call for protection from God, seek siege in God, they occupy the space and do what they are sent for. During such, people start quarreling with each other, each person seeing the other as if they were wrong, and yet there might not be something even to quarrel for. Petty things are seen as big, and you might even see the other person as if they were ugly or something weird. And it's all because of the illusions which are being given by these monitoring things. And of course, behind the shadows, whatever they are doing and brewing and chanting and doing whatever. And when it gets heated, they jump from one person to the other, cheering and increasing the chaos and confusion. Until someone comes to their senses and seeks refuge in God is when the angels step in to start fighting them and protect you from what they were sent for. So, every time you start feeling these sensations, rebuke the evil and seek refuge in God. Prayers are your strongest weapons. If you know other ways to get rid of the situation, example, The simplest being using Palo Santos, for example, you scenting, for example, this could amplify the help from the spiritual realm, because the negative things don't like such smells and it burns them. There are other scents too, look them up online. I call them holy scents. And sometimes they might even be having your pics on altars and doing rituals. That's why you get those conflicts. You feel something is walking under your skin sometimes, Keep rebuking the evil and seeking refuge in God. Make your normal prayers that connect your souls to God. Always get to have a habit of always praying. It's the simplest thing you could do to protect yourself. You could do cleansing, your normal cleansing for spiritualism. Look around you and see if the place is organized and clean. If not clean, try cleaning up. You can solve surfaces where you feel repelled. If you are extra empath, you would know and feel these corners. And later on, you can vacuum clean at least after 8 hours. While scenting, open windows, doors for 9 minutes, then close. After all, we are in winter. We don't want you to get cold. Spray corners with white vinegar. You could add essence to quench away the sharp smell. Spray on curtains. If you don't have essence, use cloth softener mixed in water. And the vinegar, you can spray it as raw or you can mix it with water. These are just extras that would help maintain the positive aura around your living spaces. Check them out too. Don't just rely on what we say. There might be particular ways you could apply, but be careful not to get involved with any ritualistic witchcraft ways. Be mindful of where you look for resources as well. So in short, that strange feeling was just that some of these people just don't want to be obedient and still believe they can ruin you and take your blessings although you are protected. They are just being stubborn and don't want to accept the truth out of ego. Egos are good for confidence, to do good things, but they are just being unfair to their egos and don't want to do right. May God guide us all to follow the right path wherever and whenever we are. Amen. So whatever is done is to make you feel unworthy and self-sabotage yourself, because they cannot sabotage you. Because their other spells are not working now, because you are protected, and they are trying to project weird thoughts to you and make you believe that you have lost, or that whatever you do, you will think that you will always remain stuck. And that way you'll start giving up on what you are doing and fall back to your old ways and get stuck again in their webs. What makes their spells to work is negative self-talk which you do to yourself, which calls for more of negative, that creates a good environment for the things or entities they want to stick on you to siphon your blessings. But please look around you. Try being mindful of your thoughts and filter out that which does not belong to you, and keep doing the good that you have been doing and moving and advancing. Realize the achievements you achieved. Acknowledge how far you have come and be aware of all that has been rewarded since you were on your journey. There are so many things that you had thought impossible that you have achieved, and right now you consider to be normal. That is why you might overlook them and think that you have nothing going on. Check your mindset as well and do your affirmations. Repeat them again and again until you truly start feeling them. Journaling is also good. You journal your achievements. And this is also a way to acknowledge and start getting aware of what you had achieved so that you will not feel unworthy. Just be aware that you are winning one way or the other. And the struggle that seems as if it's still continuing will only continue if you give in to negative thoughts and self-pity. You can grieve, but do it only to acknowledge and release with love, to open space for the new that is waiting for you to accept. Forgive and release with love. You don't need to forget, but you don't dwindle too much on what is in the past that does not serve you. Realize that you have become an amazing being who is mindfully living your life the way you believe to be right for your life, is serving your needs and wants right now. And whatever negative is trying to pry in is nothing but just illusion. And for that, I hope that helps you understand that you are not paranoid and all you lived was real and you are on the right track. So till next time, with much love, keep thriving, keep pushing, keep going, and God bless.